I am proud to introduce you to the Digdug. So this is the Digdug, which was just the name I came up with because I was like, well, it digs. It is a mining ship, as you may note by the drills. Everything is welded up, ready to go. I think it's changed a bit design-wise since I sort of wireframed it out in the end of last episode. But there's not really all that much to go over. It's got thrusters, it's got hydrogen tanks that are currently empty. I need to solve that. Ore detector. All this is about the same. Cockpit down here. The sort of most interesting thing, and we'll probably see it whenever I actually take this thing mining. So I'm making use for the first time, I think for me, of the broadcast controller, which is this guy. So I realized I wanted something, like a light or something, to tell me when the drills were full. Because if the drills are full, that means all my cargo's full, that means mining time is done. But I couldn't think of a good way to fit anything up here that I'd be able to see from in the cockpit. So I figured, what if I could do a sort of chat message to tell me through the chat? So that's what this guy's doing. So if we look, I have the message drills full as message 1, and then I have an event controller that when the cargo is filled to a certain point, it sends message 1. So yeah, very simple, but hopefully should give me the info I need. And it's kind of a nice repeatable and clutter-free way to do that, really. I guess it's a little bit meta-y because it's, you know, making use of the in-game chat, but I always assume everything on the HUD right now is sort of like a broadcast into your eyeballs from a light thing. So, you know, the chat's just part of that. I've also done a bit down here, not too much. I put some O2H2 gens down. I need to finish this tank, which might require me to go mining. Yeah, so if I compare these, nickel, I've got about 8k of. Got 1,000 cobalt with more to refine once the silicon's refined. I have a ton of silicon because I did a big old mining trip just for that. Iron is probably the thing I'll need next. Okay. Well, we can go ahead and remove these bits. Okay, we're low on power, but we are charging. That's good. I did also, I can't remember if I had the modules on last time or not, but I do have some power modules and 2 speed on this guy. So my power usage on the base has dropped dramatically. Let's go ahead, get rid of that. So my plan for fueling up the miner here, I've got full tanks on here because of those O2H2 gens. So if I move over to the miner and dock with it, I should, oh, if I hit the right control. Uh-oh. Something bad has happened. Yeah. Dang it. Okay, part of why the base was full, I guess, is because these batteries were dead. That's what I get for running it off of them from the start. I didn't have them recharging. Well, and this is awkward because the solar panels, which are there to solve this sort of issue, are on the wrong side. Let's see. Ugh. Dang it, I don't think I can push it to rotate it around. Oh, well apparently we built all this stuff, so that's good. We don't have much iron left, but I should have enough. Go ahead and just get this built up. Yeah, I should have enough. I could either do a hydrogen engine as sort of an emergency generator, or I could just stick a new battery in. Actually, that's what we'll do. Do I have enough? So a small grid large battery requires 20 power cells. If I just produce the power cells, I can essentially replace the cells in one of the current batteries with ones that have charge. So it'll take out the power cells in here, but all the other components will survive. Except I think I screwed it up a little bit. There we go. Oh. Does that not... Oh. I think that used to work and it didn't. I should have torn it out completely and built a new one. Yeah, because it saves the charge in the block. Well, alright. 20 more power cells. They aren't well, they're a little expensive, but it's not that bad, really, at this point. There we go. That should be enough juice now. Yeah, 3 hours, and we don't use much on this thing, really. At least for normal flight operations. Okay, so continuing my plan, if I dock up, I should be able to transfer some of the hydrogen into the other ship, enough that it can get over to the connector. Now, I need to be careful because I'm pretty sure once I lock down, the other ship is going to start sucking in the hydrogen. Yep, there it goes. So let's get it to about... Maybe we'll get down to 25%. There we go. That should be enough that I can kind of, you know, it's enough for this thing to get back to the connector. And it should be enough that I can get the Digdug over there first and get it properly full. Because 75% of these tanks is nowhere near full on those. Well, actually, it's not full, but it's more full than I thought full would be. Alright. Docked. We are getting more fuel. Not much more. How much ice do we have? Okay, we have no ice. So I think this may be as full as we get. So about 50%. I should say, too, when I was doing some resource mining between episodes, I found a much closer ice boulder, or ice asteroid. So, it's not insanely close, but it's about half the distance, just a little over. So, maybe the first load this does is a full load of ice. Alright, there we go. Batteries should now be recharging. Or attempting to. And tanks are on stockpile. So I don't drain all the fuel out. Now, is this putting this in... Yes, a very dangerous situation. Okay. Let's stop that. Oh boy. That's because these are at a bad angle. It's just while we're gone. I mean, the refinery is still refining. I'd kind of like it to keep refining. Okay, we're going to turn off everything but the refinery. Just everything that takes power, which... yeah, 1 kilowatt's a kilowatt. Okay, that's not helped. And this thing is disconnected. Okay, the CLC will be fine. Base will probably be fine. I'm gonna go and get a bunch of ice. So I can set up a similar thing to what I had before with an engine that's sort of there as an emergency generator, and now is an emergency. So hopefully it'll eventually be rendered obsolete by solar power, but it'll allow me to power things off of this ice I'm getting, and hopefully not run completely out of power. Oh, benefit of this ice asteroid, by the way, it's literally ice asteroid. It's all ice. So I can just get in here and start eating. Oh, there we go. Drills are full, says the broadcast controller. Yep, if we look, so one of our drills got to, that's about 80%, I'm sure. I may, where is broadcast controller? Gonna change, I'm pretty sure this custom name is what the, like what it'll pop up as sending in chat. So yeah, that should work. And I guess in this case, maybe I can turn off use antenna because I'm on the same grid. My sort of thought with this, oh, I need to up my gyro power. My main thought with how I set up the broadcast controller is if you were to use this in like a multiplayer setting, you kind of want to, you don't want to broadcast to everyone all the time. So I sort of set it up just due to me, I think. Wonder if there are any Prototech ones of those. I kind of don't think so yet, because I think that's what they're adding in like, the next patch. For, you know, God is adding that to reality. But yeah, I'm not a pirate, I'm here for a mission. Prerogative means I don't really want to just go and loot the heck out of that thing. Even though I could probably have zero real repercussions. You know what? This will be temporary. But I could have both these things potentially docked down. If I just slap one of these on here. This may be enough ice for a while. That is the beauty of this machine. It's got the volume. It's got what we need. Okay. Let's see if we can get an engine up and running here. There they are. Well, go ahead and do that. I'm gonna go ahead and redock this and turn its batteries on to output. We're just gonna use all the power we have, because I need to at least be able to build this engine. It wasn't gonna let me put, there we go, put stuff to production if there was no power on the base. Okay, the other issue is there's no iron on the base. Now I can't. Okay, if I disconnect the Digdug, how long will the base last on the CIC batteries, or CLC? I don't want this to be recharging. Not yet. Okay. Half an hour. Half an hour should be fine. Because the iron's right over here. So we'll just get a bunch of iron, come back, and then we should be able to build what we need to build. So is there surface iron on this thing? I feel like there should be. There it is. None that really matters because I can just make a hole with this, but I might as well get the stuff off the surface first. Okay. There we go. We're getting some iron produced. Once it chews through that stone, we'll be getting more iron. And there's power. We have plenty of ice. Should have plenty of battery juice. Let's go ahead and get some bits so I can build some stuff. I may wait until the sun dips below the planet to actually build, or to actually cut off the existing solar panels. But if I plan to have, that's basically the middle of this section. I do that, then have rotor and hinge. I think I want large grid. I mean, if nothing else, large grid should be fine. Actually, what I should be doing here, it's not gonna matter much, but if I have this piped up with an advanced rotor, I can use plant tubes as part of my assembly. So what are the oxygen farms? They don't produce a ton, and they take a... actually, I'm not going to be able to see without building it. I don't know how much power they take, and they take a good bit of power, is the issue. I guess if I have this piped, I don't have to make it, plantable yet. I can always add that. Alright, we're lacking sun, so as good a time as any. I guess what I can do, if I use these, I can then build my solar panels off them and continue the piping. Place our solar panels out here, partially so that I can grind these down and have somewhere to put the bits. Okay, so I've got a solar array hinge and rotor. I think azimuth is around. Yeah, and elevation is up and down. There we go. Aiming camera. What is the camera? Where are there two cameras? Oh, because one's on here.
No
Oh.
energy.
There we go. And there goes my power. So now I have that solar array camera. Now I can always aim at sun. Which is working, even though, of course, there's no sun at the moment. Let me see. Let me slow this down a little bit. Let's see. Put a little bit of braking torque just in case we lose power completely again. Where is... Yeah. Have to go through here. There we go. This may be a mistake, but I think having shear inertia tensor on these, because this is all a station, yeah, it makes it much smoother. We do have a warning about unsafe grids from my suit HUD warning device. Yeah. You know what? We're good. So now I have to do some thinking. I think I have some ideas for this base. They involve a little bit being different than I'd originally sort of thought. So I think instead of having this be like a full round, I'm gonna have it be 3/4 of a circle and a little weird of a 3/4 of a circle. And part of my idea with that, I realized I want on here some sort of like small grid ship printer. And I think the best way to do that would be basically taking up a section of the ring to have a printer assembly. But I want to, you know, the ships need to come out, and I want my outer radius. This obviously will have the solar array. And I kind of want to, at these other ends, have docking ports for ships. Eventually I'll get rid of this one. I may have a second ring of docking down here for like smaller ships. But my theory is I'd like the miner to like dock back here. Then I'll probably have some big assault ship eventually. And it'll live over here. So, I cut that off there. I'm gonna continue this radius around and get some wireframes going. Ooh. Just got a peek of sun. Curious. The panels aren't getting it yet, but they're in position. Slowly adjusting into it. Oh. Alright. They now have it. Alright. 159.5 kilowatts apiece. These are the two on the CLC. Goody goody. I don't know if that'll actually matter much, because it's not a ton of power. But that plus the battery, or the engine down here, that ought to get everything going pretty good. Okay, so I decided to just build one of these plant tubes to see. Okay, so they require 20 kilowatts in. Each of my panels is producing 160 kilowatts. So actually, that's not so bad. So yeah, maybe let's go ahead and reposition this guy. Okay, one plant tube. So I think how this will eventually probably work, I'll have my 4 solar panels, then broken up by a plant tube, then another 4 solar panels, plant tube, and kind of extending on out. Now I can probably turn off the plant tube because none of it's piped. I don't know, I probably need an O2 tank, and I'll need to run conveyoring. Okay, well that's a start for sure. As you can see, it's kind of a giant mess. Everything has been wireframed out, more or less. So for these outer bits, I don't know. I was planning on having windows in here, because I thought it could be kind of cool to have, like, big open windows. But I'm starting to think maybe that's not the move. I definitely want some windows, but maybe I just have segments of window. Part of the challenge here is I don't really have a great plan for what I'm going to do with all this internal space. But I think what I may do here, actually... Where was... There is my platinum asteroid. I think I'm going to go to that platinum asteroid. How much fuel do I have? Ah, we are full. What do you know? Does that mean... Yeah, well, that means we're filling up the main tank now. It's still running strong. How much ice do we have? Oh, that's not... Okay, well, we have at least that much. We've still got a fair bit. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to go for that platinum then. I think if I can get that, I can build a little welding ship or drone or something. Because frankly, welding all of that up by hand sounds like a nightmare. I may too do some poking around. I have the spectroscopy stuff on here. It is interesting because the screen is small, it sort of cycles through. I'm sure there's somewhere you can change it, but it's not convenient. There it goes. It takes a while to move to the next thing. But I may peek at some of these other asteroids, because I really need some gold. Like, that one apparently has silver, which I also need. I've got some silver at home. Either I'm not reading that one, or it's also... No, there it goes. Yeah, hard to know what that contains. Now, as I recall with this thing, I think the platinum was actually inside, and you had to go in it. Possibly this. Get close enough, my headlight starts doing stuff. This is... Yeah, it's set to max range. Yep. There's some platinum. Let me... Yeah, my lights are as far out as they go. It's just dark here. I'm probably going to end up with a lot of stone. That's one thing this miner doesn't have. I always forget it on my miners, is stone ejection. And honestly, stone has some useful stuff. It's not a bad thing, especially with the amount of material I bring back with this. I don't have to do many mining trips. So bringing back a little stone means I have some of the base materials and I don't have to go out seeking them specifically. Oh, and I did just remember, I need gold with me as well. Let's pop out here real quick. This hole is getting kind of awkward anyway. I need to find gold because I need gold for the thruster components. So, let's see if we can find some. Okay, and that works. I was curious if I could have two screens and if they'd show different things at the same time, and it looks like they can. Yeah, so it looks like I've got this set up now to where I'm always looking at... I can always see everything. That is good. Okay, so that's silver. That looks like ice. Hopefully I find this soon. Oh. This may be gold. I'm seeing spikes in the right positions. I think it's stone and gold on that one. Alright. Let's go. My plan too is to build this welding ship in small grid, so I shouldn't need a ton of platinum, which is good because I don't have a ton. But if I can go back with platinum and with gold, I think that's everything I need. If not, silver is close. Let's see what we got here. Oh, yep. There is gold. It's more or less surface. Okay, maybe less. What is... There's weird stuff going on with the shadow. But we can get to it right quick. Alright, gold, get in my cargo hold. Okay, it looks like I pretty much ate up that entire little deposit. There's some little bits and pieces, but I'm no longer getting a signal for gold here. And I'm full anyway. That works for me. Yeah, we'll have to do some adding up once we're back home. But I think we got pretty good haul. We are a fair ways away from home. I didn't really appreciate that getting out here, but that shouldn't be that big of a worry. It's depending on how much gold we got here. I don't know if it'll be enough, because I still, you know, the volumes will drop as it refines, but we should, with gold and silver, we have everything we need for a jump drive, which is going to be critical for going after the Factorum unidentified signals, because I don't want to drift 5 kilokilometers, 5,000 kilometers. That doesn't sound fun. You know, while I'm here, I'm pretty sure this is, yeah, this is silver containing. I'm just gonna divert here and, you know, mark it and make sure, because I know there's silver on my base, but there's very little, at least from what I've seen. It's one asteroid, fairly small in the cluster, has a tiny bit of silver. So we might as well go to this one, and hopefully it's just got, you know, silver all over the place. It's not that far from home. In fact, I may even hop out and refill or fill up my person with bit silver. Just so I have a little bit to refine. Because if nothing else, it would be nice to have a survival kit or even a full med bay built up on the base. I also probably shouldn't dally too much. I'm starting to run a little low on air. I've used up all the air in the cockpit, and now I'm back on my suit. Which isn't a huge worry, but you know, I do need air to breathe. Oh, okay, there's some silver. Let's just hop right up to it. Ooh. What do you know? I actually have, because I have a bit of room in the drills, I could actually... This is a little crazy. I think I can actually get just a teeny bit sucked in the drills. In fact, maybe a little more than a teeny bit. You get very little silver per voxel destroyed. I'm gonna change the event controller. Because with these large drills, you can get them a lot fuller, a lot more controlledly. It's not English. Just because they have so much more volume. There we go. You have less of a risk of overfilling because the amount of ore goes up quicker than, goes up in higher ticks than you can control just because you have more room to stuff ore in. Now we are very heavy, which means braking is going to be, well, very heavy. Okay, I may have overshot a bit. My deceleration, though, maybe not. I'm on the wrong side of the base, but actually I timed that pretty much perfectly. Now, something else I need to do. I need to put a new connector somewhere for the CLC, just because that's supposed to be a walkway and there's a ship in it. Wow. It must have been gone longer than I thought. Looks like we've actually chewed through all the ice we had. I mean, it's been converted to hydrogen, which is a good thing. Looks like we'll have about 5% on the big tank. Maybe just under. What are our batteries looking like? All of those should be good. The base one, I don't have an easy way to get into it now. Here. That's supposed to be open anyway. So, okay, we're 2/3 of the way full on the big battery. So we're currently burning our hydrogen with the engine. I'm going to go ahead and cut the engine for now. We can kick it back on if we're really starting to hurt. But yeah, at the moment, I'm just running the refinery. We're still recharging solely on solar power. So that's pretty good. Okay. I think I have an idea for how best to connect some of this stuff up. So I'll run some conveyor lines out. Which does mean a lot of grinding, but that'll let me easily connect this far docking area and the solar assembly. And I'll just mirror it side to side. I will say there are some nice perks to no gravity. Namely that you can, well, sometimes it's not a perk, but you can walk wherever, be it the top of the building or the bottom. Can't jump very well, though. And I won't be able to walk straight out of it quite like I did before. Whoop. Well, if there was gravity, I would have landed that. That works. Means I can get rid of some of this, connect this up, and then my planned hallway will be finished. Ooh, I just had an interesting other idea. Maybe instead of making this this hallway and this styling, I can have this be like a glass access tube. Yeah. Yeah, so that doesn't work. So the big issue with this is there's no good way to go from a 45-degree slope to one of the curved radius things. Go from the flat bit. Yeah, so with that as it is, I think that'll be pretty compelling. Kind of adds some variety to the structure and makes this little arm thing, makes it feel more like an arm and less like a structure, which I guess is kind of a downside. Makes this feel more like half a circle with an arm as opposed to 3/4 of a circle with a hole in part of it. Well, we'll weld it up and see how we like it. I mean, it's an interesting dynamic from inside, because I'll be able to have like catwalk flooring leading over to this. There we go, there's the ground. I can have catwalks leading over here, so you're sort of... Oh, in fact, I could have stairs up and catwalks, because actually... Oh. Because this is sort of a walkway level coming out of the refinery. So if I just have you walk along like this, I could even raise up this bit if I wanted. Although I also need to figure out, this probably won't be this long because I have to have something covering down here. Let's now see if we can build a quick little quick little welder vehicle using some ion thrust. I don't think I have the parts for it yet, but we can at least lay it out. Oh. You know, I've been wondering, things have been behaving like I don't have enough power to run them. That would help. Okay, and so, trying to both assemble and refine stuff constantly, we don't quite have near as much power as I thought we did. So the engine may need to come back on. I'll have to go and do another ice run. Yeah, we have full sun, so that's not a problem. And we'll keep an eye on that, but I kind of need to keep refining, so. Okay, so a little welding vehicle. We'll make this nice and simple. Oh, except I forgot to grab the interior plate. Because it's still not produced. Why? Because the assembler's full of junk. That'll do it. Let's just check that at the planet. Goodbye, gravel. Okay. So that should be enough that it can hold a crap ton of steel plate. And then I'm thinking real simple here. Do that. Have a little seat. A gyroscope back there. And then just a smattering of thrusters. This thing doesn't need to be fast. In fact, it benefits from being slow. So I'm currently refining platinum to build the thruster components. Is very slow. Aside from that, everything else is pretty good. In fact, all the other stuff is built, so we can get everything but the thruster components in them. And look at that, we even have directions of thrust. One forward and one reverse. In fact, that, if I can get one thruster in every direction, that's enough that this thing is working. And we can. Blam. So, yep, does that. In fact, I mean, I've built it such that I'm ready for 2. But 2 thrusters may be overkill. This thing moves just fine with 1 in each direction. It'll be a regular sports miner with 2. So yeah, with our SportsWelder ready to rock, a whole bunch of welding to do, I think we're in pretty good shape. So next week, well, next in-between sessions, I'm probably going to do all this welding, just because it's not going to be thrilling. May time-lapse it, put it to some music, that's always fun. But for next week, I'll probably, I don't know, I may, do I start building a large grid ship? I think it may be time. I mean, obviously I have a large grid mining ship at the moment, but maybe like I start building my attack cruiser or some such thing. Maybe I start with a scouting vessel. Because I really am itching to get to some of these Factorum places. I mean, at this point, the hype of it all has kind of died away, and I've still not experienced any of it. So, yeah, I think I've got the stuff. Maybe next time I start planning out and designing a big ship. But we'll see all that in the future. For now, thank you everybody so much for watching. Feel free to check out any of the other stuff I've done. Subscribe if you want to do that. You can hit the member button if you want to do that. You know, you got options. Until next week, bye-bye.